My, oh my, oh my. Thank you all for returning. This is a urgent message that they are asking to get out, and it is coming back into alignment with the truth and what is actually going on the planet. And we're going to go ahead and use the Lightseekers Tarot as well. So the first thing that we want to preface this with is this reading isn't going to be what you think that it is if you're thinking that it has to do about the economy and politics, because that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the undercurrents, and what is it not just that we're seeing on the surface, but what is it that we're seeing happening beneath the surface? What is it that is emerging that is going to catapult us into this change that everyone is feeling into? And that's the main part of it, right? That when you're in alignment with something, it's up to you to decide how it is that you interpret the energy. And right now it's like corrections energy, I guess. We got complete. Okay, so we're gonna do just a regular spread without any definition, so it's just gonna be a running flow. And this is also a channeled tarot message, so if you're familiar with my show. Okay, so the main thing to understand is the undercurrent that we're asking for everyone to look at is really the undercurrent of love and support and true inner union that is happening. It has to do with change, right? And so when something goes so far into the dark, that's pulled so far back, the boomerang is what I like to call it, but it is, you would call it the slingshot, if you will, that it is catapulting the world into a greater amount of change. And for those that are the old souls, and that term gets used a lot, so let's just take a minute and define that. And there will be a lot of talking, so there you go. There will be cards pulled, but we're just going to channel the energies first. And it's really an understanding. When we say old soul, what we mean is highly developed, right? A greater sense of awareness and understanding that when something occurs, when there is a great need for spiritual attunement and they have the awareness of that, they're going to tune up. They're going to make the adjustments needed in their lives in order to truly come into corrections, right? A greater alignment with source and their own soul core frequency to bring about what is needed and to be what is needed and to support what is needed, not just in the economy, not just in our day-to-day lives, but in the undercurrent of the changes that are needed in society as a whole. So that's card one. Love it. Okay. So we have the King of Cups. Oh, these cards. I'm so glad that they are back into frequency and alignment again. So the King of Cups. What are we really talking about with the King of Cups energy? And what we will say here is this is, and you can look at it as divine masculine and feminine energies, which would be the archetypes of the divine feminine, and the divine masculine would be the highest developed souls of the masculine and feminine archetype that are currently blessing us with their presence. And so this here, we will say it is a highly developed soul energy that is recognizing the energy current. And you can see these cards definitely have an energy current, and it is recognizing the time to slow down and to feel into the energies. You can see there's a fish necklace here, and it's a state of meditation or really just awareness for taking the time to understand what's going on around you. And then the cards will unfold from here, right? And so we start, we'll do a little zooming. Okay, we start with that and then we transition, right? And so it's the undercurrent, and we were saying adjustments, and I felt the need to just adjust my cards, right? And it is the Justice card, and here we're looking at a need for reviewing of the past, a review of the past actions to be able to move forward in a greater way, right? And it's moving past what may have happened so that we can move forward in a greater way. So this is a call out. It most certainly is. And it is a call to the highly developed souls that what you're feeling now, the change, the shift, the need to, some would call it quantum leap, I call it a jump, is to recognize the energies around you and to be ready and willing to review what has happened and be able to make positive movements forward. So what does that look like? That is the energy of temperance. And so that's what we were talking about when I was free talking in the beginning. And so these are some pretty major energies as we started. So we started kind of with an archetype, right? And then we moved forward here into two major arcana energies, right? So this is, yes, a need to review and move forward. And then we come into the energy of temperance. And we look at the energy of temperance. It is, oh, I see what it was. It's a need to find balance again within the energetic state of society, right? Within the energy state of the planet itself, from the soil up through our daily lives, just the energies that are going on. It is a great awakening because it is what is needed. And so if you are feeling the need right now to make these great sweeping changes, that'd be why, because you're awakening to, and as you do that, you're also laying a template for the planet and for others to truly be able to align to these energies. So the question is, how do you respond? And so from here, we're going to look at the major energies that are coming together and bringing about this change of response. So what that looks like is going to be 3 cards here in the middle. Some major energies again. Wow. Okay. So when we look at the energies of tarot and just the general oversight, and I'm reading the energies of the cards in the situation, so we have personality types, but we also have here movement and the energies of the ones that have the actual numbers. These are major arcana. This is just a slightly more stylized version. And those are the major energy cycles and the major choices. The other energies of which can come into play are the energies showing you the energies at play in your ascension process. The only completion card is the World card. Otherwise, we have what are the major cycles and the major lessons, right? And we look at these are the character cards, is kind of what I want to call them. We have the King of Cups and the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands in this case is a female. And so what we see here for what's going on, what's coming together now, is the divine feminine acting as a catalyst for the divine awakening, for the emotional awakening, and for the rising of the fire, so to speak, within the collective conscious and unconscious, and stirring up what is needed. And what is needed here is the Strength card, and it is a strength of character and an understanding of the infinity symbol here, of how one planet has a space in time. Time being a construct, but a space in the space-time continuum, if you will, a space in creation, but it ripples out in all ways. And so it is a rising of the consciousness and the awareness of the divine feminine archetype, if you look at it as those two potentials. It is the forward movement and driving forward of change, and change of understanding, of a great sense of character is needed, right? It is strength of character and energies coming into your life. It is an understanding of your need to stand up, to recognize who you are. In this particular card, the Strength card, it is a woman, but half of her face is what I would call a lion, right? And then there's a lamb in the picture as well, and she's wearing this heart necklace. And so it's really understanding and coming into letting go of societal norms and what you were taught, and really learning, what is it that you are? Who is it that you are? And what is it that you have to offer? Because there is a forward movement of stability that is needed. And that is coming in very swiftly, right? And so we see a sense of balance here. We see a trend in horses for sure, as well as wildlife in general here. But what we see with the Chariot card is forward movement, because when you unleash your inner fire and you figure out who you are, when you are brought to the surface, when you realize what is needed, and you light the fire within yourself to determine who you are and find your own inner character, then we see things really start to move forward. So that's what's happening now. What we want to say here is the energies that are being displayed here are in groups of 3. So we're going to do the next 3 cards, and that is what is transpiring because of this, that has been the undercurrent of discovering who you are. What is it as you define your love of self that you really find coming about? And they want 1 card for the center up here. The part card. Okay. And so it really is, as you go out, as you see what's going on in the world, as you experience the world as it is, what is it that you are bringing about to the economy, to the world, to what it is that is out there? What is it that you're bringing to fruition right now? Wow. Okay. So groups of 3, huh? So we have another major arcana, but we begin to see the minor arcana, which would be the court cards are the page, the knight, the king, the queen. The minor arcana are really what you would say the energies at play around you. So in the center, we have this card, right? And it is a connection to the elements of looking at stuff and things and possession, and a need to own things, and a need to just have stuff and materialism, right? And the need for a higher level of spirituality and connection to the earth and connection to the source from which we are all derived. You can call it the God source, right? You can call it the ultimate source and the thought from which you were derived. And so we see here that there is forward movement, but this card shows us that as you move forward, you're kind of bringing some stuff with you, right? So what's happening is a great sense of forward movement, but that movement is showing us that there is a need to let go of the looking at things as possessions, as ownership, and really starting to see ourselves as stewards of the planet and the land, and letting go of the term economy, because what it really is altruistic society. Are you giving freely of what it is that you have to give and feeling lovingly into the aspects of who you are and showing up how and when and where you are inspired to, right? So the transition here of what has been brought up, it's, yeah, we're moving forward, but it is a letting go of the materialistic overconsumption and really getting back to basics, right? So the energy here of the Eight of Swords is being tied up in the non-altruistic society of which most people observe. And so it's a need to untie yourself from moving forward with all of your stuff. That means so many things, right? Here, the transition energy is mainly doing with physicality, and it is letting go of the physical things that are no longer really making sense, abso-freaking-lutely. But also, are you coming into the alignment here of letting go of the emotions and the beliefs that no longer serve you? Of all of the 3D reality things that you have created for yourself, that you needed stuff to feel better rather than you just needed to think better, right? You needed to speak better. You needed to live better and to treat your body and your health and the entire planet better, right? That's what we're talking about. And interesting, I think you could tell that I pulled that off the table. So we have the sacrifice card, and it's really letting go of all of those things that you were holding on to and allowing yourself to give freely of others, to others, what it is that you no longer need, right? So if you have this stuff, can you repurpose it? If you have, do you really need to replace things just because there's a newer model, or are there still things that have life left of them? They're drawing my attention to the tarot cards that I have. I have plenty. I'm not really planning to get rid of any of them, but I don't necessarily need more, right? At one point they were very powerful, as they still are, but as I began to channel, I realized that I had so many different ones to choose from, and with the ability to read energetically as I continued to develop my gifts, that it was less of a necessity. And so you can look at anything that particular way, right? Are there things that you have that you can repurpose? And it really is just getting back to the basics. Like, when you walk through the stores that exist, the number of things that seem just utterly ridiculous, in my mind, gets larger each time that I go. When I see, for example, a birthday hat aisle, absolutely, please celebrate. Celebrate wildly and with your inner fire, but how much stuff do we need to feel celebration, and what celebration can come from our own internal celebration and celebrating being together and having fun and our own inner delight. This section is done. Okay. So that's what's been stirred up. That's what's been coming down energetically. And if you've felt that shift to kind of rework your life in that particular way, that'd be why. Okay. So what else? We're going to do a new shuffle. Okay. So the next section is who's on the horizon. Alrighty. It's the same reading. That's it. 4 cards. Okay. Yes. Love it. Okay. So we have 2 major arcanas, and we would read this as the general energy of flow that I typically read, and that was more just a standard spread, is the situation, the transition, and the outcome, but we're speeding this along. So the situation is movement, right? So these are 2 major arcana cards. So the situation is already here, right? The situation of the wheel card in general is a movement card, right? And it is forward movement is happening. It's happening whether you like it or not. How it is that you choose to respond is the choice that each of us has, right? And so what we're saying here is you get to decide if you look at this as an opportunity, because these energies have been coming to Earth for quite a while now. And we brought that to a while back. And so that's already been at play. The question is, are you choosing to let go of your fear of letting go of things and the way that you were thinking and the way you were moving and the way you were speaking and who you were with, maybe? Are you able to let go of the howling at the moon, right? Are you able to let go of those energies? And so the major choice is to release the fear surrounding you, right? And choose to look towards the light. Absolutely. And to let go of the way that you were doing things in the past. There is a need to let go of a mentality of the way things need to go, the way things have to go, of old spirituality and scripture. And really just, if that makes sense for you, absolutely, but allow for yourself to follow your own inner guidance. Meaning when you hear something, take time to digest it and understand, does that feel right for you or not? Because it is a need to let go of fear and move forward, because that's what the 3 of Wands really is. And we would say that it really is that when you let go of whatever the fear is of what might be, what might happen, that you're able to move forward freely, right? And so that's what the energy here is, how it is that you choose to move forward. Forward movement is happening. How it is that you choose to respond and move forward, that is your own free will and your individual choice. But the ultimate outcome is the Ace of Cups, right? And there's a heart here. I'm going to call it within a coconut shell. And that is blessings will be coming for you. So with this forward movement, when you choose to let go of the fear of what's happening all around you, that you choose to just go with the flow, you will be blessed in a multitude of ways. The more that you let go of past ways of feeling, past ways of thinking, past ways of doing, the more that you find blessings coming to you. And now we go to a different oracle deck. Okay. So we're going to just go right ahead and put all these cards up here. Okay. So we're going to clarify basically the outcome here. And the outcome is a shift and there is a fork in the road. And I actually did just a channeled reading on this, and it recorded just the sound had opportunities. So we have corrected that. There is a new mic attunement. And so this was a while ago. But it's interesting because now we're just telling you about it. The choice is already out there. The choice is, how do you respond? These are not oracle cards. These are tarot cards. So clarify for us the Ace of Cups. Clarify for us if we choose to respond now in a better way by focusing on what it is that we want, by talking about what it is that we want, and by thinking about what it is that we want. How is it that we're likely to see things moving forward? And we have the Major Arcana of the Fool card. And these are a very bright, shiny card, right? And it is a new journey. It is a new journey and choosing love for yourself and others. And it can be with yourself. It can be with your friends or family or coworkers, or a new life altogether. The path here is very bright. Okay. As shown in the luminescence of the card itself. Okay, that's it for those cards. Okay, there we go. No wonder I had these sitting back. I have had these for a while, and I just put them out on the table today. There's more cards over here. So this is the Oracle of Visions deck, if you're interested, as well. So when they said Oracle, we were just getting there. Okay. So they are still in their new state. They're actually still in their order. So here we go. Please allow us to channel whilst we shuffle. So here's the thing. We're clarifying here the paths that are coming. And what it is energetic support. It is physical support. It is emotional support. And it is how you choose to respond. The shift and the fork in the road is, do you choose to respond positively no matter what's going on around you? That is ultimately the state of grace. It is that I choose to respond lovingly. I show up in a loving state no matter what's going on around me. I think that's okay. Okay. And I'm just seeing, I was looking at this card before, and I'm seeing that there's words on it. So we have decisions determine destiny. I love it. Okay. How wonderful. Now, we want another card from this deck, but we wanted to point that out. So she has a little clad there, but that's okay. It's just the words there are very, very, very dynamic. Okay. So what we want to say here is we're clarifying that you get to make the choice on which timeline you end up on. What does that really mean? It's what are the energies that you're aligning to? How many adjustments are you willing to make? What can you line up with changing to be in a better alignment with sustainability on the planet and with things that make sense for you? Are you just doing dance clubs and social meetings and family gatherings because you've always done them? Or are you doing them because you want to? If you want to, please go. If you don't, please don't. Oh, it's the dancer. Okay, nice. So that's basically it. Show up if you want to, don't if you don't. It's really the energy of you get to decide how you live within the world, right? You get to decide if you are at a state of rest or at a state of mobility. That's it for those cards. We really just wanted that one, but that one kind of went with the message. Okay. So that's it. It is understand that how you show up now determines your destiny and what else is to come. So I will deliver more on this particular topic, but we're going to let that just generally sit in, because what's coming has already been disclosed. I will say it is the element of disclosure. It is the understanding of things that have always existed and allowing people to ease into the idea both of their social responsibility, of their response, and for others being among us. So that's what's coming up right now. And it is your choice how it is that you decide to respond. Please do so with ease and with grace and with great intentionality, because there is a lot of potentiality out there, right? How it is that you have the ability to conform to your own destiny, how it is that you choose to move about in these next few days, weeks, and months is going to determine a lot of what happens for you in the future. So thank you for indulging us, and we're going to leave it there for now, and there will be more to come. Thank you so much. Thank you for returning.